This week we're going to review the new Google Nest Hub 2nd generation, which has been upgraded with some sleep sensors, a better speaker, and some other features that we're going to check out. Is it the future of smart home automation and AI? Let's check it out.
The Nest Hub 2. It's the latest smart home device by Google. Featuring a 7-inch touch display with an attached speaker, it's ready for free counter space near you. This 2nd-gen device boasts radar sensors for tracking sleep, air gestures, and features Google Assistant. It's always on and listening, but it does not have a camera. It can be used standalone or with other Google devices. And of course, you can stream Netflix and YouTube with it.
So it's been a week with the Nest Hub 2, and I have more questions than answers. Firstly, who is this device for? It isn't an iPad, it's not a smart tablet, and it's not quite a speaker either. It's kind of in this weird middle ground of devices that can do a few different things, but you're not really sure about using it for anything. So I'll be honest, I had no idea that Google even made a Nest Hub in the first place. I hadn't heard about this device at all prior to doing this review. In fact, I saw on Google's website that they were selling it, and I thought, what the heck? It's $100. I'll buy it, see how I like it. I do have a Google Chromecast, which I use to cast to my TV, and I love that. I use that practically every day. But other than that, I use Apple devices. I have an iPad, I have an iPhone, and I didn't really feel like this would fit into my lifestyle, and I honestly felt like I wouldn't use it very much. And I was mostly right. I mean, I set this thing up on the counter next to my bed, my bedside table, and I forgot about it. I used it at night and checked on my sleep habits, which was pretty cool. But in that, I didn't really get a whole lot of use out of it because, well, I didn't really need it. What surprised me about it is, honestly, I was hoping that this was wireless. I'd seen it displayed in some photos, and I felt like it was going to be one of those devices like an iPad. I could just pick it up and carry it with me to each room and just set it down on the counter, and that wasn't the case. Now, Google promotes this as kind of a family-oriented device that can do similar things to other tablets on the market, like stream videos, Netflix, Disney, YouTube, things like that, and use it for basic personalized tasks, and use its AI assistant. Google Assistant is included in this, and actually I felt like the assistant was really cool. I felt like this was probably the best use of any AI assistant that I've used on any device. Siri is not as good as Google Assistant on the Nest Hub 2. The Google Android phones, I feel like the Assistant, maybe it's up there, but it just felt so good on this device. It always responded. I never had any instances where I asked it a question and it didn't understand my question. It was always able to give me what I asked it for. And I really liked that. It's got a sleep tracker on it, and it's got some radar that it shoots out into your bedroom and kind of monitors your sleeping habits. And I thought that was really cool. In fact, that's what I used most for the Nest Hub 2. The sleep tracker was on when I was asleep. In the morning, I would ask, "Hey Google, how did I sleep?"
It looks like you slept a good amount, but it was restless.
It would give me my data, it would give me the length of sleep, it would tell me if my sleep was good sleep, if it was restless sleep. I could get some insights if there was coughing or tossing and turning activity in the bedroom. And I really, really like that because I've had problems sleeping in the past, and keeping a sleep journal, a sleep blog, it just kind of sucks. This does that very well. Is it as good as a fitness tracker or wearing an Apple Watch for your sleep? No. It's not going to give you precise details on your movement. It'll give you kind of the basics, which for me, that's all I need. And I almost question why Google didn't market this as a sleep device, the video streaming frustrated me. Here's why. You can ask it to play YouTube or to play Netflix, but you have to have your YouTube or Netflix account linked in the Google Home app first in order for it to show you what you want. This doesn't have any apps installed that you can manually go and choose what you want to play. You have to give it voice commands, and you have to have your accounts linked, and you have to be very precise in saying what you want to watch. If you open up YouTube, it'll show you a list of YouTube recommendations, but what frustrated me is I wanted to go in and use it like I would the YouTube app on my phone, and I couldn't. That was a big downside because compared to the old iPad that I have lying around that I can use to cast YouTube or Netflix to my Chromecast on my TV, I found myself not using this hardly at all. What you can do is you can cast content to the Nest Hub. So if you're on your phone and you cast a YouTube video or a Netflix video, you'll have the option, if you have a Chromecast, to cast it either to the Nest Hub or to the Chromecast. And that's pretty cool, but I mean, again, it's a pretty small display. It's like a little bit bigger than the biggest smartphones. So it's not super big, and I just found myself casting a Chromecast because it's on my TV. The idea I had in seeing this is that when you're in the kitchen or you're doing family things, you have this device on the kitchen counter or the living room counter or wherever it is, and it can be kind of a command center where you have your calendar information, any to-dos, you want to check the weather, and then if you want to use it as kind of the device to control your content, your video content and whatever, you can. And it fell short. Mainly because it needs to be connected to a power source in whichever room you're using it in. You can't pick this up off the counter, walk into another room, set it down. And if you're using it for sleep, like I was, you have to have it next to your bedside table, and it's gotta be plugged in when you're sleeping. And so you're not gonna wanna get up, unplug it from the wall behind the bed power outlet, walk into the other room, pull the couch out, plug it in behind the couch, set it down on your table, and use it to start streaming content, which you can't do anyway because you can't use this as a command center to stream content. You have to use your iPhone or another device. This you can cast to, but this does not have any built-in apps that allow you to cast. That was frustrating. I don't know why Google just didn't include a few apps that allows you to control in here, because if this thing could be used like a smart remote for my TV and my audio system, oh man, that would be cool. I mean, it's the perfect size too. It's like this would be perfect if this was wireless and I could just take this and set it down right on my little table in front of my TV and use it like I do my phone to control everything. I mean, that would be perfect. Will I be using the Nest Hub 2 in the future? Probably not. I didn't love it. It was okay. The sleep thing, it did really well. And I can see using some of the gesture controls, which it does have. You can play a video and you can like push your hand in front of it and it'll sense your hand and it'll pause the content. Why not just use an iPad? It works just as well. It does more, except for the sleep sensing. And it's wireless. You can charge it and you can take it with you. Buy a used iPad for $100 and it's gonna do more than this, except for the sleep thing. The sleep thing's pretty cool. In fact, I really like this sleep thing. So to recap, the Google Nest Hub 2, it's $100. It does a lot for the price. It's got a nice speaker. It's got a nice display. It's got an AI assistant that just kicks everything else out of the water. And it's got sleep sensing, which for that kind of package, $100 is a pretty good price. Let me know what you think about the Google Nest Hub 2. If you bought one, what you liked about it, what you didn't like. Did it live up to your expectations? What should I review next? Let me know in the comments below.